What's going on, everyone? Tim Williams here. We are here to break down this Thursday night showdown between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. If you're new to the channel, welcome. What is going on? My name is Tim, and we are going to break down this game in full, kind of pick where we're going to lean in this one. I think this one's a fairly easy one to break down, so it shouldn't take too long. And if that sounds good to you, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right to it. First up here, let's look at this total here, 46.5 point total. The Baltimore Ravens are favored by a touchdown and a half, 7.5. So let's talk about the Miami team here first. Tua, I'm going to act like he is playing here, right? And I kind of hope he does. 10.2, yeah, that is pretty pricey here, but I think Miami is going to be playing from behind. They're going to have to throw the ball here. So 31.4 pass attempts per game for Tua, which I do like here. I think he's the better overall quarterback over Brissett. So I hope he's in there. Tua, I mean, he hasn't really looked all that good all season long, but he does have some air yard upside. I really like to see that from him. I think a lot of people, I don't know. I think the ownership will be kind of somewhat low in a showdown type of setting, maybe 40% in these main big contests, but only 2.6 deep attempts per game. That is a negative here. So I'd like to see him air the ball out a little bit more. He doesn't really do that all that often. So kind of a short attack here. Not a lot of red zone attempts either. So that is another negative quality or factor with Tua, but it is a showdown slate. Anything can happen. The fact of the matter is he does have a decent amount of pass attempts per game, 40 and 39 his last two games he has started. So if we do get Tua here in the flex spot, I'm pretty much reserving my captain for one of these Ravens guys. I do think that the Ravens are going to win, and you are going to want to roster somebody who has the highest point upside or who you think is going to score the most points. So I'm going to reserve that for the Ravens. So we'll talk about that when we get there. But so if we get Tua in this lineup, I really like to get to Waddle here. He is their clear wide receiver one on this slate, 25% target share last week, 88% of snaps played. Not much end zone share overall. So I think he's the main guy they're going to look to pass to throughout this game. 10 targets last time, 12, 8, 13. He just has a lot of upside there, especially if he does score a touchdown. So I really like him as my favorite target. Gesicki, my second favorite target here, 7.4K. I think that's reasonably cheap. 8 targets last game, 4, 8, 9, 7. So they really do rely on him a lot. Only 2 touchdowns on the year, but just clearly someone that's super reliable for the Miami Dolphins. Hollins in here. I think he's sort of in play. I don't like the price here at 4.2K. 6 targets last time out. I think he is an option. 41 routes ran last week. So actually led the team in routes ran. So that's kind of interesting, but I think he's in play. I don't think he's, by far a lock or anything like that. I'd like to try to get to Waddle or Gesicki, maybe both. Like I said, I think they're going to be playing from behind. So I don't really love the run game all that much, although I do think that is a contrarian option. If you want to look that way, Gaskin would be the guy there. He is kind of pricey there. He does have some receiving upside here, 6 there, 3, and then 4. So kind of interesting there, but I'm going to be looking at one of these receivers. I think they're just going to be passing the ball a ton. Other than that, if you're looking at some of the punt value here, obviously the big theme for all these showdowns here for the NFL is the backup tight ends. It's backup tight end season. So I like to look at Smythe and Shaheen. I think they're both somewhat in play. Smythe played 61% of snaps last week. Sheehan 49. So I think they're somewhat in play. 2 targets here for Smythe. 0 before that, 4, 6. So he does have some upside. You're just looking to, I don't know, a couple catches here. Maybe he gets one in the end zone. You never know. Shaheen, same thing. I prefer Smythe here, but Shaheen a little bit cheaper. So I think they're somewhat in play. Same thing with Williams too. We have to talk about this. He's only 200. He's been DNP. He has not been playing, but last time out he played in week 7. So 4 targets there, 5, 3. So he has been getting some targets when he's out there. Coach Brian Flores says that Williams will be available for the Thursday game. So I think that he will be somewhat interesting. I'm sure the ownership will be there, but just a guy in like a deep GPP type of contest filler there. So it allows you to pay up for some of these other guys. And then let's talk about Baltimore here. Lamar, absolute stud, just a guy I'm looking to jam in the captain. He does it all. The guy that we want, as far as quarterbacks go, especially in the captain spot, like he can do it all. He can throw it, he can pass it, all of that above. Miami's defense is terrible. So really like Lamar here. I don't think this is a slate where you kind of play defenses. I think this could just be, I don't know, back and forth here. I think if you do play a defense, it's got to be the Ravens, but I'm just going to probably punt on these Ds and just hope for some big upside here. As far as targets go, Brown would be my favorite. We'll have to talk about him. 36 routes ran last week, 79% of snaps. He is pretty much getting all of the end zone work, him and Andrews. So both of those two, you got to pick one or the other. I think I prefer Brown here, but Andrews is much, much cheaper though. So that might work better for our build. Another guy we can talk about here, Freeman, if for a contrarian play, he's not really someone I'm looking to get to. It's hard to pinpoint what the Ravens are going to do with their running backs. But he does get some receptions with some receiving yards, double-digit fantasy points in his last 3. Just a guy that could totally vulture a touchdown or 2. So I think he's in play because of that reason. I'm going to, for maybe my main team, not really get there and just hope Lamar gets to one of these bigger name guys like Brown or Andrews. Bateman is somebody we need to talk about here. I think he's going to go a little bit over owned, and I'll give you my reasons why. He played almost as many routes and percent of snaps last week as Brown, which is interesting, but it all kind of hinges on if Sammy Watkins is going to play this game. If Sammy Watkins is in, I am going to be off of Bateman because Bateman's probably going to get some ownership because of his last 2 weeks here. If you look, 8 targets, 6 targets there. So I don't know if Watkins is in there, it kind of just mucks up the wide receiver scenario, and it makes things a little bit just easier for me to pick and go to one of these guys like Brown or Andrews. So let's throw in Andrews here and see what we can get. Not much salary left there, 1K there. So what if we did Williams there as like a punt on Miami, and that leaves us 1.9, and you can get like a Smythe in there or something that could be interesting. I think it's you certainly can take Jackson out of there, but the whole offense runs through Jackson. So I really like Jackson in that captain spot. It doesn't really leave you a ton left. You could do a build without Tua, get Waddle and Gesicki in there, but more often than not, if both of those guys are succeeding, it's because of the quarterback. So I like kind of like that original build we did. Let's keep Jackson in that top spot. I think it's going to be pretty hard for anyone to beat him. But like I said, it's possible. You could totally just punt with somebody in the captain spot if you're doing a deep GPP there. But I think that'll do it. I think we covered everything. Another punt play, I guess, real quick before we go. Miles Boykin, if Sammy Watkins is out, he's only 200. It'll be super, super contrarian. He did see 3 routes last week. So just a punt. You're probably going to end up with a 0 there, but just another option there along with Williams. So that'll do it. I hope this helped you in your decision making. Leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Take it easy. Best of luck in your contest. Peace.